Welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestlingGamer and YouTube.com/ZFXTV Network. I'm Double B Lagutro, and this is going to be my TNA Impact Wrestling review for the week of June 28th, 2012. We start off with a great opening match between RVD and Mr. Anderson. Now, the reason why I say that is you have two guys who are well established in the wrestling industry, whether it be TNA, WWE, Chikara Pro, Dragon Gate USA, wherever. You have two really great established names. Now, it doesn't matter what order you put this kind of a match on your card. You could be opening, middle, or your main event. When you have two established names like RVD and Mr. Anderson working that match, you can always expect a guaranteed good quality match with these guys, because you know these guys, you know the reputation, you know their work ethic, you know how well these guys like to perform. So when you have those two kind of guys in your match, like I said, it could be your opening match, it could be anywhere on your card, it could be your main event. You can always expect a really good match, and you always get those kind of good matches out of RVD and Anderson, and this match was no exception. RVD got the win, got some points on the board, because last week he lost to Jeff Hardy. So RVD is on the board for the Bound for Glory series. Mr. Anderson's already on the board via his win last week against Mr. Daniels. So this match, I'm going to go 4 out of 5 on this match. I thought it was really entertaining. And again, RVD and Anderson, you expect anything less? Do you expect bad matches out of RVD and Mr. Anderson? Every now and again, possibly with the person they're working with, but when you have two guys who are main eventers, two guys who know the wrestling industry, who know how to perform, you can always expect a good match. Pardon me. Next up was a phenomenal, I mean phenomenal, no pun intended, because AJ Styles was not involved in this segment, but a phenomenal promo, a phenomenal segment between Austin Aries and Bobby Roode to lead into their match at Destination X. Austin Aries, he's setting the tone, he's setting the precedent for the X Division. If you are the X Division champion coming up to Destination X, you can cash in your championship belt for a World Heavyweight title match in the main event at Destination X. And I think the TNA to come up with that idea to kind of bring more prestige into the X Division title was indeed a wonderful idea. And the reason I'm talking about it now is I didn't do a review last week, so I do apologize about that. But anyway, as far as this promo goes, I thought this was a great way to build into the Aries Roode match at Destination X, and as great as that promo was, and as great as their mic skills are, we know what kind of in-ring work that these two can do. So I am really, really looking forward to what kind of match these two guys can produce as the main event World Heavyweight title match at Destination X. I am really looking forward to it, because you got two great names in this industry. You got two really great names in TNA, and Aries and Roode. And we know the work ethic. We know what kind of matches that these guys can produce. And now we're putting them together one-on-one. This is going to be a really great match, in my opinion. I'm really looking forward. To be honest with you, I don't care if they keep the title on Roode or if they put it on Aries. I am just really looking forward to the kind of quality match that these two guys are going to come out with at Destination X. So I'm going to go 5 out of 5 on that segment. That's how much I enjoyed it. Next up, we have a new X Division tournament starting, because apparently, with the president, Aries is setting, the other thing is you have to give up the X Division title. So why in the world is he still walking around with it? I don't know. But anyway, what they're doing now is an X Division tournament. And in this tournament, excuse me, throat's a little dry. Anyway, you're going to have some old faces and some new faces show up for the X Division. And tonight, we had no exception. Sanjay Dutt has returned to TNA. Yes, you heard me right. The original player from the Himalayas is back in Impact Wrestling. Well, yeah, he's the player from the Himalayas. Thank God he's not the guru, because that gimmick kind of bombed in a sense. But as far as his match goes, he took on Rubix. Now, for those of you who don't know who Rubix is, apparently, like me, for example, I've never heard of Rubix. Rubix was a new guy to me, so I have no idea. I've never heard of him before. But what I have been told is that Rubix also goes by the name of Jigsaw in other companies. Jigsaw apparently is a really well-established name, like in Chicago Pro, Dragon Gate USA, and he's worked in countries, another country. So apparently this guy's a really well-established name. But this was my first opportunity to see what kind of matches that Jigsaw, aka Rubix, can produce, and I must say I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed seeing that how well this guy can perform and seeing what kind of work ethic he brings to the company. Now I am hoping that this is not just a one-off appearance from Rubix, because I am, like I said, I was very impressed. I thought it was a great match, and you had with Sanjay Dutt, a lot of great spots. I love the tornado DDT counter towards the end, because even though I've seen this crucifix counter into a tornado DDT, I've never seen it done at the speed that they were going in that match. And then the finish, a moonsault stomp. I've never seen that spot done before by anybody in WWE or TNA or anywhere in the indie scene that I've seen. But Sanjay Dutt did it beautifully. They got to come up with a signature move name for that soon. Because that was phenomenal. That was a really, really great match. So, I'm going to go ahead and go 4.5 out of 5. I really, really thought it was great. And again, TNA, please listen to me when I say, please keep Rubix, aka Jigsaw, on your roster. Because this guy, from what I've seen just tonight, loaded with potential, loaded with talent, and loaded with the ability to bring, the X Division up a notch. And they delivered. This match with Sanjay Dutt and Rubix kind of personifies, in my personal opinion, what the X Division has been about all these years. Ever since TNA came into existence back in 2002, this, to me, is what defines the X Division. And what defines the X Division, in my opinion, is exciting entertainment. And that's what you got. And that's what we got tonight from Rubix and Sanjay Dutt. Excuse me. So 4.5 out of 5. Next up was another Bound for Glory series match between Samoa Joe and Bully Ray. Again, two well-established names in your company. Now, I know I've been on... excuse me, again, my throat's a little dry. But, two well-established names going at each other. Now, we have Bully Ray, who's kind of knee-deep in this Abyss Joseph Park storyline, and you kind of figured, where in the world are they going to be using him? How in the world are they going to be kind of putting him to the use? And from what we've seen, is apparently it's kind of like the Faces of Foley gimmick. Why? I don't know. But apparently something what TNA wants to try. Now, I'll give it to Joseph Park, a.k.a. Abyss. And he's pulling off both these parts kind of really well. And I'm really looking forward to it. But the way the match was worked, guys, is they had Joseph Park come out behind the referee's back, and they had him slap Bully Ray. Bully Ray was knocked into the Kikita clutch. It's also a rear naked choke, but, I remember signature move names for some reason. Commentators today don't remember signature move names. Who knows? Maybe it's kind of Mike Tenay's curse, in a sense. You know, he's better than Michael Cole at calling matches, but he can't remember signature move names. Anyway, that's possibly on future video. By the way, the state of commentators on wrestling today. My opinions on it, and do they make the grade? Who knows? That could be a video for tomorrow, guys, as well. So be sure you guys tune in right here to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network, and to see if that video comes out. But anyway, as far as this match goes, 4 out of 5, especially for the promo by Joseph Park at the end, saying, where he's tired of being bullied, wasn't going to take it anymore. And in 2 weeks' time, we're going to see another confrontation in the ring between Joseph Park and Bully Ray. So look for somewhere, Abyss, rather, to kind of be inserted. Almost like what we saw at the pay-per-view at the Slammiversary. So something like that, possibly. Next up, we had Rashad Cameron, who apparently in other circles and in other areas in the wrestling industry is known as Black G's. And we also had Mason Andrews, who's in other areas better known as Scorpio Sky. It was an okay match. Again, this was another X Division Destiny qualifier in a sense. And Rashad Cameron won. Now, this was a decent match. But Rashad Cameron got the opportunity, as it were, to cut a promo after the match was over. And he went on there and laid an egg on his promo. He was awful. Awful, 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 awful on his promo. I mean, now, I watched the TNA post-show, which, by the way, I will talk about a little bit after I get through with the main show, because I do have a piece of exciting news to tell you guys about this. Well, it's exciting to me, but I still want to talk about it. But anyway, and also a secret that Bully Ray has that he revealed tonight on the post-show. I'll tell you about that, too. But as far as this goes, I watched the post show. I got the opportunity to listen to Scorpio Sky on the post show, and from what I heard, Mason Andrews, aka Scorpio Sky, has he cut a very decent promo on the post show. Rashad Cameron sucked. I'm kind of questioning TNA on their decision to put Rashad Cameron over on Mason Andrews. Now, I am very sure, after that terrible, terrible promo from Rashad Cameron, that somebody probably in management or somebody backstage kind of read him the riot act. Because you're on mainstream television and you're cutting lousy promos. You're technically in the big leagues now, Rashad Cameron, Mr. Black G's. Now, cutting that kind of level of promo, excuse me, it might be acceptable in other places, in other wrestling promotions. I know for a fact that kind of promo would not be acceptable in Gulf Coast Wrestling. I can tell you that right now. It wouldn't be tolerated. Because at Gulf Coast Wrestling, we have the best wrestling show in Southern Louisiana, bar none. So that kind of promo, I know for a fact, wouldn't be acceptable in TNA, would not be acceptable in the WWE unless you're on NXT or Superstars, and it would not be acceptable in Gulf Coast Wrestling, because we kind of want to build Gulf Coast Wrestling to be the best independent wrestling organization in Louisiana today, if not the entire United States. I know that's covering a lot of ground, and we got a lot of work to do, but still, that's my personal opinion about it. But so now the match was okay, but the promo I talked to the studying man, Ashley. He wants me to give it a 3.5 out of 5. But I can't. I can't. If it wasn't for that bomb of the promo, I probably would have. I probably would have given it a 3.5 out of 5. But the promo after the match was awful. I can't give it a 3.5 out of 5, Ash. I can't. I have to go 3 out of 5. I have to go 3 out of 5. I'm sorry, but I have to go there. Now, let's go ahead and talk about Taylor Hendricks and the gut check. Now, a lot of people have been having their serious doubts about, the legitimacy of gut check. Is it a work or is it a shoot? Very hard to say, because in Taylor Hendricks I'm going to go ahead and say Taylor Hendricks, yeah, is really, really hot. She is, and she got the vote. She's on the roster now. But during this whole promo, they had Joey Ryan come out. Joey Ryan was in the audience holding up a sign. Taz gets out. Now, it looks like they're about to get in a fight each other. Now, Joey Ryan, I've seen videos left and right and news articles on dirt sheets and whatnot about Joey Ryan and his complaints with TNA and Gut Check and his complaints with Taz, and they've been ripping Taz. I think he even did a video with Amazing Red, if I'm not mistaken. But now after you're criticizing TNA left and right, Joey Ryan is actually going to buy a ticket, get into the crowd, and with a sign about the crowd. 87% of the crowd agreeing that he should have a TNA contract and get in the face of Taz. Now, after ripping TNA, a new one in a sense, left and right with these two videos, for him to kind of show up on Impact, one, kind of leads me to believe that this is something that TNA's cooked up, and Joey Ryan is already on the roster, and two, it kind of makes Joey Ryan kind of look like a hypocrite. But again, if this is something TNA is cooked up, I'll throw, again, the big Pac-Man hat salute for Joey Ryan and TNA for coming up with something really, really interesting to watch this time. But if this isn't something TNA's cooked up, I don't know. I'd really like to know where they're going to be going with this. Maybe that's a possible discussion point for another video because of the time limit I have left. But let's go ahead and quickly get into the main event. Kaz and Daniels taking on Kurt Angle and AJ Styles for the tag team titles. Great match. All night long, Kaz has been going up and down, infuriated that Daniels had lied to him and he wants to turn, and he's kind of giving the indication that he's turning face. Now, in the matchup in itself, there were a couple of botches, but overall the match was still really good. Great shock value from Kaz to immediately twist around and keep heel by blasting AJ in the back of the head with the steel chair, and behind the referee's back, by the way, too. So Kaz and Daniels are once again the tag team champions. Great show tonight. The matchup, main event, 5 out of 5 for the shock value and overall greatness. And of course, they end the show with another accusation that Claire, the person who AJ Styles and Dixie Carter were helping, that Claire's baby, the father of Claire's baby is AJ Styles. That's the accusation now. So overall, the show tonight is going to go ahead and give it a 4.5 out of 5. Great opening match. I loved seeing Rubix and Sanjay Duttback, Rashad Cameron. I need to see some more from him. And I'm hoping to see more of Mason Andrews. Great main event. Great to see Taylor Hendricks on here. By the way, to the Impact Wrestling post-show, very quickly, apparently Bully Ray had like a 4-minute comedy segment where he went on he blurted out that he slept with every knockout on the TNA roster. But the major point I want to talk about in the time I have left is the post-show on Impact Wrestling. They always have a Twitter segment where Jeremy Borash reads tweets, and he opened it up with one of my tweets. I sent in a tweet to Jeremy Borash for Impact Wrestling, and he read mine first. Yeah. So, I'm very happy about that. Also, very quickly, Madison, we get the now apparently what the storyline is going, Madison Rayne is supposed to be crushing on somebody, and we all got the distinct impression that it was Garrett Bischoff. Not anymore, because they cut a segment where she went to Garrett Bischoff for advice about her crush. Now, think about this, guys. In the matchup we saw where Mastering came out, the four guys involved were Garrett Bischoff, Devon, Robbie E, and Robbie T. Now, we can really cross off Garrett Bischoff. That leaves Devon, Robbie E, and Robbie T. So, that's one of those three guys. I wonder who it could be. But again, overall tonight, the show gets 4.5 out of 5, especially for the post-show. The wonderful comedy skit by Bully Ray on the post-show was hilarious. The study man Ashley was laughing himself to death at Bully Ray and Jeremy Borash. And kudos to Jeremy Borash for debuting the Wrestle Gamer on TNA Impact Wrestling's post-show. I thought that was wonderful. So I want to know is, what did you guys think of Impact Wrestling tonight? What do you agree with my rating of 4.5 out of 5? Or do you have a different rating? And if you do, just what is it? And, what are your thoughts? What are your reasons behind it? Put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. And don't forget to subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZepHX TV Network. That's ZEPHIX TV Network. So with that being said, Double B Billy Bujo saying thank you very much for watching.